Can you believe it? Day number 7. Woohoo! So I wanted to do just a little bit of review of everything that we've been trying to accomplish. We've been doing the intermittent fasting to get into autophagy so the body can repair and get rid of diseased cells. We've been doing the gut smash to mechanically cause the body to get out of fight, flight, or freeze and also bring good blood flow to our vital organs. We've been doing the nitric oxide workout because that is a signaling molecule and it's great for oxygenating the body and letting the liver know it's okay to get rid of fat stores. We've been doing the lemon ginger water, skin brushing. We've been trying to lower the volume to our stress by doing mindfulness breath work. We have been doing leg drains, castor oil packs, hot and cold water, foot soaking, and just really trying to overall give ourselves some nourishment, some ability to rest and digest so we can repair and heal. And so we've had about 40 to 45 people joining us on all my different avenues of social media and my blog and my YouTube channel. And it's been so heartwarming for me to see how people are interacting and sharing and, you know, just in this journey together. I knew that when I wanted to do it and invite people that there would be a wide variety of people joining in. And so I tried to make it to where, you know, it would be easily done by all kinds of levels of fitness, all kinds of levels of all different kinds of body shapes. So thank you so much. I'm gonna do an after call on Monday at 8 via Zoom. There's been several people that have already said they want to join in. I'll be posting that link. So if you want to join us, we're gonna get into more in detail like what would be great to do next. But let's go ahead and talk just a little bit about how to get off something like an intermittent fasting regime or this 7-day slim down. What would be really good to do for the next at least 1 to 2 days? We're all having a biological experiment of one and also a biological experience of one because we all have different fingerprints, we all have different irises. So everybody's experience is a little bit different, but there are plenty of things that are very similar or the same, meaning we all have skin, we all have a heart, we all have a kidney, a gallbladder, a colon, a liver, a pancreas. So we all have those things that are the same. And so we want to take into account, you know, some of the similarities and some of the things that we can do that will be beneficial going forward. But I did want to remind you that we really are a spirit and a soul having a physical experience. We're not a physical being having a spiritual experience. And that's one of the reasons why I really tried to incorporate some things that where we were mindful and taking a little bit of care of ourselves and lowering the volume of stress so we can really get in touch with the spirit part of ourselves, because that's where we make the changes first in our spirit, our soul, our mind, emotions, and will. But I do have some suggestions of some things that you can do that will be helpful. Now, I'm not a doctor, and you should always consult your physician before you begin any kind of program or take any kind of supplements. But let me tell you some things that I think are very, very helpful. One of the things I think that is great to take is this is called Detoxidine, and I think you can get it on Amazon. I'm not sure where else, but it is iodine, and iodine is really important for the gut lining. And you know, our gut's really sensitive right now because we've given it time to rest from digestion so it can re-nourish and refeed and replenish. And so the iodine will really help aid in fully restoring the gut lining. It's really hard to know how much to take. So what I do is this has a dropper in it. I just put several drops on the back of my hand right before going to bed. And then I rub my hands together. I let it dry, go to bed, and then what happens is the body will go to the skin and take what it needs and leave the rest there. So it's a really great way to do it. It's great for the pineal gland, which is the seat of the soul. It's one of the master glands in the body. So iodine, I feel like everybody could benefit from taking iodine. The other thing I think is really important is I think everybody should be on a trace mineral supplement. You can get it at Sprouts, at Whole Foods, online. And the reason being is, especially if you're an intermittent faster like I am, you can lose minerals. And so this is a great way to keep your sodium and your mineral level at a good level. And I'm gonna go into more about that on our call on Monday night. And then I wanna say that at least for the next 2 days, be gentle with your body. Don't go hog wild, rooting around in all of the processed foods that we can so easily eat and following your nose down every, trail. We want to be somewhat cognizant that, our body has had an opportunity to do all of this restoration, and that it is, less toxic now. And so we don't want to put a bunch of toxins in. So like doing things like drinking some bone broth or vegetable broth will really help replenish minerals if we've lost minerals from the intermittent fasting. Doing things like eggs and avocados and fish, things that are easily digestible, will really be helpful as well. But I have some other suggestions for you to keep in mind, so let's get right into that. Things to keep in mind, especially for the next couple days. So maybe just stay away for 1 to 2 days garlic and onions. And the reason being is they can cause bloating, and our stomach is in, kind of a vulnerable, tender place with all of the things that we've been doing to help it be able to clean house. So, they plant garlic in gardens to keep the pests away, and they're great for boosting the immune system, but during this time they're very harsh on the stomach. And so just maybe for the next 2 days, maybe stay away from garlic and onions if you can. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about carbohydrates. I don't want to get in the weeds too much about it, and I'll answer more questions on Monday night. But carbohydrates are things that come from like grains and starchy vegetables, anything that has added sugars and fruit. And how the body uses that is it turns it into glucose, and then that glucose opens up the door of the cells for that glucose to be used for energy. So if you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in one meal, what will happen, especially if you're very carbohydrate heavy, even if it is fruits or grains or rice or anything that turns into glucose, the body will take that first and foremost and use it as energy, and then it will take your fat that you're eating and store it, and it will take the protein, break it down to amino acids, store it in the amino acid pool till it gets the 31 chain that it needs of amino acids to begin to build and repair muscle tissue. So that's why on this program we've kind of compacted our hours, and we've lowered the amount of carbohydrates that we're eating, because we're trying to gently shift the body over into allowing it to be able to release the fat stores via the liver signaling, hey, it's okay, let's release the fat. And we've been doing that through the intermittent fasting and the nitric oxide workout. But if you're eating heavy carbohydrates, you have to do really long, sustained aerobic exercise in order to get the body to shift from being a glucose burner to being a fat burner. It's possible. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat carbohydrates, but if you start loading on carbohydrates, eating a lot of fruit, eating a lot of grains, eating a lot of starchy vegetables or pastas or breads, it takes, for every gram of carbohydrate that you eat, it takes 3 grams of water, because the body's not efficient at storing carbohydrates. That's why when I was training for marathons and you see people who are endurance athletes, they have to take those little goo packets, because the body's not great at storing the glucose, and it'll actually cause you to retain water if you're eating a lot of carbohydrates. So especially for the next 2 days, try not to carbohydrate load. And so what I would recommend that you do, at least for the next 2 days, if you want to get off the intermittent fasting, extend your hours of eating a little bit, maybe an hour or two the first day and a little bit longer the next day. But then don't carbohydrate load. So in the morning, do things like your yogurt and your berries, especially the cocoa yogurt, because it has good fats in it. The berries don't have a lot of sugar in it, so it'll be gentle. And then just drink some broth during the day. And then especially at night, try to have like a fatty salmon or some shrimp and leafy greens and leave off the carbohydrates. And then maybe day 2, you can start adding more carbohydrates in there if you want to. So hopefully these things have helped you. I've been so overwhelmed and touched, and my heart's just been full of joy that you all have joined me on this. My husband has lost over 5 pounds. I've lost several pounds and inches. Hopefully you've benefited from it, and I look forward to hearing exactly, how it's been for you. And then we have our after call tomorrow night if any of you want to join in that. But I can't thank you enough. It doesn't matter what your vocation is in life. If you're not having a good time living in your body, it makes things pretty miserable. And so this really is my passion, to help people find freedom in their body. And so thank you for joining me on this journey. And so until next time, be blessed.